Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and create a helicopter blade or propeller, if you would. And what it's showing me is how to do a loft command, and certainly I'll use a pattern. So I'm going to start by creating a little center hub from which the blades are going to emanate. I'll do that by just creating a little circle down here. I'm going to make the circle a 0.3 or 3/4 inch or 0.75. I'm going to extrude that 0.25. Okay, so now to use the loft, what I'm going to do is I'm going to travel through 4 consecutive drawings here. So I need 4 consecutive planes. So I'm going to use offset plane. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to offset from that plane 1 inch. I'll hit OK. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to offset from that 1 inch. I'm just going in 1 inch increments. And lastly, I'll offset one more time, and that would go to 1 more inch. So that's going to come out 1, 2, 3 inches. So it's essentially going to have a rotational diameter of 6 inches. Might be a little big for an automata, but it's certainly good for CAD class and to see the automata. So you can adjust as you wish after you watch this. So I'm going to go in there, and at the initial plane, I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to project the geometry off of this, including that origin, so I can get in the middle. I'm going to go to ellipse. So let's see, I'll snap to that and then just go straight up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a flat ellipse. Left click once to determine the edge, the radius of the ellipse, and then you can control by going up and down how thick it is. Oops. Okay. So now there's one there. I'm going to come here now and draw on this one. And this one I'm going to vary a little bit. Let's see. I'm going to turn off the construction so I can see that circle or that ellipse a little easier. Oops. So I'm going to go to that. Whoop. Cancel. I might have to project this if it doesn't click on that. I believe I can snap onto that point. Yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to vary this by, say, I'm going to make it a little bit. I'm going to have it be about the same size. Go up a little bit, make it a little bigger to start, and then I'll do 5 degree increments. So I'm going to hit tab to get to that, and I'm going to hit that. I'll left click, and then go up there, and I'm just arbitrarily determining that. Thickness, finish that sketch. I'm going to back out and do another sketch. I'll flip the construction on. I'll draw on this one now. And then I'm going to go ahead and click that construction back off. It just makes it a little more visible for me. But I'm going to do an ellipse now. Snap to the same center point. I'm going to make it just a smidge bigger. And then I'm going to hit tab 10. So that's another 5 degrees. I'll left click. Thickness there. Finish that sketch. And then I'm going to sketch on the last plane. And now I'm going to go to ellipse. I'm going to go in there. And this one I'm going to make a little smaller so it comes back. Tab 15 degrees. Left click and make that a little thinner. Okay, so what I'm going to now do is I'm going to go create using the loft command. I'm going to go, let's see, get that circle. I might have to turn off the visibility of that body if I can't grab it. That's certainly not what I want. So what I'm going to do is come up, turn off the visibility of that body. And then I'm going to go through consecutively and choose all of those. Be careful you don't grab the center point or it'll take it down to a point. And then I'm going to do that as a new component. Okay. I'll turn on the visibility of that body, and now I have an object growing out of there. I can come down here and certainly stamp and put a little fillet on this. It's not going to let me do a big one. Let me do one at all. Nope, too tight of a circle. It won't let me run a rolling ball around, so I'll have to smooth that in a different manner. So now I'm going to have to create a pattern. It'll be a circular pattern. Do this with a component, and then for my axis, I want that center axis, and depending on how many it has. So this is actually something, if I spin, it will throw wind. As if it's spun this way, as I look down from the top, if it's spun counterclockwise, it would push air down due to the angle of attack of that blade. Or with, there's a lot of more advanced tutorials if you want to get into, aeronautics and fluid mechanics. We're not going to go that far, but there's a simple working helicopter. Of course, if I was doing this as components, I would then take and recreate that loft as a cut into this, so that these could be mounted in there and it could be printed separately rather than having to print all kind of sport. I just print 3 blades and put it in. And what I mean by that is the least amount of workflow to do that would be, let's see, I'm going to doctor this real quick, and I'm going to put a little chamfer on that. That's too much. I think that looks nice. So what I would do is I would save this. So I'd save this as blades. And then I would save a copy. And the quickest way of doing this, if I save as hub. So blades is saved, so these blades are saved to print. Now all I would do is go down and change this loft to a cut. And if you take a look, now I would have the hub. So this hub would fit, so I'd pull those components out of the blades. Whoops. And I still want to then pattern. Oh, I see what, yeah. So I'm going to pattern that feature real quick. So create pattern circular, and that would be a feature, that cut. So that, for my axis, I'd select the center, and it'd have 3, I'd hit OK, and now this would be saved. Export this as an STL, so I'm going to go ahead and hit save. So now I would export this as an STL, and then print 3 blades, and those blades would fit right in there, kind of tight. Technically, there wouldn't be any allowance there. So I'd probably have to scuff it with a little sandpaper and fill it with glue and then just force it in. The nice thing is plastic will do that. I don't want to get, too tough with it, but that would be a wonderful way of inserting those blades in there. Okay.